Greetings, everyone. Welcome. Welcome.
Srimatre Namaha.
Wonderful. Welcome, Radha and Rama. Welcome, Radhaji and Ramaji. Say hello to everybody. We have quite a big gathering of over nearly 45 people. Wonderful. A lot of Shaktis and men Shaktis also. Shaktas here also. Very good.
So I are called Shaktas anyway. So
exactly. And what I would like to do is everybody here knows the Guru mantra. So why don't we start with you leading us in the Guru mantra, and we can do the Mirgi Mudra and do it together if it's all right with you. We do it twice. Okay.
we do it twice.
Okay. Go ahead.
So we chant Om once so that everybody is on the same page.
Sure.
We can start together. Aim Hrim Shrim Aim Hrim Saum Hamsa Shiva Soham Hasta Prem Hasakshamalavalayum Hasau Sahakshamalavalayim Sahau Swarupa Nirupana Hetave Swagurave Shri Annapurnamba Sahita Shri Amritananda Natha Shri Guru Shri Padukam Pujayami Tarpayami Namaha Aim Hrim Shrim Aim Hrim Sauh Hamsa Shiva Soham Hasta Prem Hasakshamalavalayum Hasaum Sahakshamalavalayim Sahau Swarupa Nirupana Hetave Swagurave Shri Annapurnamba Sahita Shri Amritananda Natha Shri Guru Shri Padukam Pujayami Tarpayami Namaha.
The beauty is everybody here knows all the Shat Chakra, the mantras, even the Varahi and Matangi, Chama, they know it all. So so you are amongst dear friends and lovers of Guruji and your family. So welcome. So let me just introduce you properly. Radha ji you're the eldest, no, Radha?
I am the middle.
You're the middle. You're the middle. Yes. Ananta is the oldest. Radha is the middle, and Rama is the little sister. My little sister. And Guruji used to call them what? His three Devis, no? You were the three Devis, right? He was his three Devis, right? And so, after Guruji left us for 5 years, 7 years now, no?
7 years.
My God, 7 years. Right? The task of bringing it all together and running Devipuram, this amazing temple city, has fallen squarely on their lovely shoulders, and they are doing an amazing job. So well done to you both, And I think a lot of people have already been to Devipuram who are here, or many will be coming also this next year. So this is part of our family, the Devipuram family, and we're so happy to have you here with us. Srimatre Namaha. Thank you. All right. So please, this is your satsang. I'm going to hand it over to you. So please go ahead.
Srimatre Namaha. Lovely to see you all today. A lot of you have come to Devipuram, I do remember. And some we know through the online courses, classes as well. I think Glenn has been coming. And Tarama, of course, she's a very dear old fellow sadhaka, and recently we've been collaborating on something else as well, Mukta as well. So it's really nice to see all of you here today. And we are here actually in the midst of the what we call the Devi Navaratri. So there are several Navaratris through the year, in fact, but the most famous or the most well-known amongst them is the Devi Navaratri. So it's called by different names in different parts of India as well. So like in the north, it's, in the east, rather, I would start with the east because that's where Raja is from. So the east, it is, it's called the Durga Pujo, and really very well celebrated throughout the state. Huge pandals erected, and you have it's like total celebration out in the streets from from especially in the evenings. It's madness, literally madness on the streets, and the preparations for the puja festival starts well in advance. It is 2-3 months in advance when they start making all these items, and it's really an amazing thing to see and experience, of course. uh, then in north of India, it's more Dasara is more of a, I would say, more of the victory of Ram over Ravana. It is more coming from that kind of a tradition. And in the south, it is Dasara, spelled with a Dasara. And especially in the southern states, when you come to Karnataka, then we have the very famous Mysore, where they celebrate Dasara festival very grandly. So in the south, especially, I would say, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka mostly, and then Kerala as well. We have which Dasara, which is celebrated for Devi, especially in different ways. Now, the Devi Navaratri here, there are many ways in which we can celebrate Devi. But if you come to the first reason, why is it that you choose this month in which she is, worshipped thus? Why this particular month, which is called the month of Ashwin in the north, or you can also say Ashvija in the south. We call it Ashvija. So the Hindu, lunar calendar is divided into several months and so on. So this is that month. And why is it that she is worshipped in this specific month? So if you look at, the whole concept of Devi, we have to go back several steps and look at Devi as one who is formless and one who is just pure consciousness, right? So this Chaitanya of consciousness is that which makes us see. It is the consciousness which makes us, able to speak or to hear, to touch. So all these things that we do with all the sense organs that we have, it is because we have that primary consciousness of Devi consciousness within us that we are able to do all of these functions. We are alive because of that consciousness. So she is the consciousness within all of us. Okay, that is the very first understanding. So the Maha Chaitanya, if you call it the Maha Chaitanya, is that which pervades the entire cosmos, right? So this Maha Chaitanya, it pervades the entire universe, has 4 kinds of vak, and I'm sure you've heard of these from Raja several times over. The Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, and Vaikhari. And even all the trinity of gods, whom we call as Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, they are also able to perform their tasks because they worship her. Now, we are talking from a pure, Shakta tradition where we believe that the goddess is the primordial one. She was the one who existed before anybody else. Okay, so this is where we are coming from, and so let's look at the story from that perspective, right? Now, she is omnipresent, omniscient, all of those, but she is also described as residing in a most wondrous place called the Manidvipam. And in fact, when you read the description of the Manidvipam, it's like, it's surrounded by, very thick forests, different kinds of forests, different kinds of flowers and fruits, laden trees, and then several kinds of enclosures, jewel encrusted, different kinds of jewels. You have diamonds, you have different kinds of gems, corals, all these different pearls, all these different kinds of things. Then as you come inside, then you also see different kinds of trees and groves and orchards. All of these are there. And in the middle of all of that is this grand building where in the center of which Lalita Parmeshwari is residing at the Bindusthanam of the Sri Chakra, or the Sri Nagara as it is most popularly known as. So the one who resides there in the Bindusthanam of the Sri Chakra, she is the one who has created so many worlds. There are infinite number of worlds. And those of you who already have, either been listening to the Lalita Sahasranamam or have been chanting the Lalita Sahasranamam, you know that, it's said in the Lalita Sahasranamam, Aneka Koti Brahmanda Janani. She is the one who has created Aneka koti, which means infinite, infinite number of crores or millions of worlds are the ones that she has created. Till date, there is nobody who knows the count of these worlds. Even in the Devi Bhagavatam, in the third canto, it describes that even the Sesha, the snake, the serpent with 2,000 tongues, even he cannot describe, how many worlds she has created. Neither does Brahma, nor Vishnu, nor Shiva. Neither of them know how many worlds she has created. So what did this primordial Shakti do? Where did she come from? Now, if you look at the Devi Bhagavatam, and then there is a set of 3 chapters which are called as the Rahasya Trayam, or you could call them the Triad of Secrets, or the Secret Triad. So they are named as the Pradhanika Rahasyam, Vaikrutika Rahasyam, and there's a third one as well. So these 3 describe how the primordial mother came into being in the first place. How did all the others also emerge from that? It's very, very interesting. It's quite different from our usual conceptual understanding of, how the world came to be. So if you look at it, so first they say that in the beginning, there was only Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi is not the regular Mahalakshmi whom we know, whom we say we worship for, for materialistic gains, like we want more money, or we want a good future, and she's the one who's giving us prosperity. No, this is Mahalakshmi as the primordial mother. So in the beginning, only Mahalakshmi existed, and from her she created first Mahakali, and then she also created Mahasaraswati. So if you see, first Mahalakshmi, then from her Mahakali, again from her Mahasaraswati. And then she told both Mahakali and Mahasaraswati and herself as well. They 3 represent the 3 gunas again. So if you see, Mahasaraswati, so Mahalakshmi herself represents the Rajogunam, whereas Mahakali represents the Tamogunam, and Mahasaraswati represents the Sattvagunam. So Mahakali, both Mahakali and Mahasaraswati, at the instance or at the behest of Mahalakshmi, created 2 more entities who are, from Kali, she created Rudra and Saraswati. These 2 are considered as siblings. So from Kali, Shiva and Saraswati, again representing the Tamogunam. Then from Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi herself, Brahma and Lakshmi representing the Rajogunam. And then from Mahasaraswati, Vishnu and Gauri representing the Sattvagunam. So this is a very different worldview that we are speaking about here. And from here, if you understand this in this perspective, then when we go on, we will be talking further in today's talk about the whole Durga Saptashloki, and how all of this, how what is it that we need to chant in that, and how do we go about it? We'll talk about that. So this is the background to all of this. So when we say Mahalakshmi, we do not mean, or we say Mahakali, or Mahasaraswati, we do not mean just the very basic functions that their next generation, Saraswati or Lakshmi or Kali would be doing.
Let me just interrupt you. That we have studied that form of Mahalakshmi as Siddha Lakshmi, and which is the primordial mother at the source of thing. Right. Is Lakshmi as Siddha Lakshmi or Mahalakshmi. And we also, just to clarify one more thing, when she is Rajo, she's saying Rajas, which is the principle.
Okay.
Tamas is the dormant, the lower principle, and Sattva is the higher principle, the higher state of consciousness. So those are the 3 gunas, which are the 3 natures of our consciousness. Okay, please carry on.
So coming back to, again, we will, coming back to the Lalita Sahasranamam. So it is said in the Lalita Sahasranamam that she created so many worlds, So what did she do? in common parlance, we say that there are 14 worlds, and they name these like you have like the earth is just one of those worlds. So you have 7 worlds above and then 7 worlds below. So all of these 14 worlds, she created as an embryo, as a cosmic embryo. That's why they call the cosmic egg also, the Brahmandam. So these andams were created, and nobody knows how many such andams have been created also. But how did she do this? So we know that, that Brahma is the creator, and Vishnu is the preserver, Shiva is the destroyer. But there are, in the Lalita Sahasram again, there are 5 forms that we know of, that they are Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Ishvara, and Sadashiva. And again, in Lalita Sahasranamam, it is said, Srishtikartri Brahma Rupa, Goptri Govinda Rupini, Samharini Rudra Rupa, Tirodhana Karishwari, Sadashiva Anugrahada, Panchakritya Parayana. I'll just elaborate on this. So, what does this mean? Panchakritya means 5 tasks or 5 duties. Okay. So, Srishti. So, when she is doing the act of performing the act of creation, she is in the form of Brahma. When she is performing the duty of preservation, of preserving this entire world that has been created, she is in the form of Govinda, which is another name for Vishnu. Okay. And then similarly, when she is she's performing the act of destruction, Samharini, she is in the form of Rudra. And Tirodhana Karishwari. Tirodhana means the act of concealment. There she is in the form of Ishvara. And finally, as Sadashiva, she is the one who again blesses or gives the infinite grace. So it is Devi herself in the form of Mahalakshmi who is in doing all of these tasks. All of these 5 tasks they are done by her in these different forms.
So just to one interruption here.
Yeah.
If you remember the picture of Lalita Tripura Sundari,
yeah.
He is sitting on Sadashiva, who is lying down, right? Which is the passive nature of dormant consciousness in the universe. And then below them, on their holding up the bed, are the 4 gods of mankind, these 4 beings. So just imagine the Supreme Mother is at the top, then Sadashiva, then the 4 gods of mankind, the 4 natures. So Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar, and Rudra. And that's the triangle forming that becomes the kind of nature of Shakti worship that we follow. Okay, go.
Yeah, also, you can also relate it to the chakras here. So this Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, and Ishvara form the 4 lower chakras. Sadashiva at the throat center, and Devi is said to be seated on top of all of these. So, if you look at it from the yogic point of view, it is representing the chakras from Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura. So, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, then Ishvara at Anahata, Sadashiva at the Vishuddhi, and at Agnya you have Devi herself who is seated there. So, that is a pictorial representation is the one that Raja was just talking about. And if you look at it from the yogic perspective, it is representing the lower chakras, and then finally Devi at the upper.
So we it is important to see the parallel because we study Kundalini here actively, and the chakra system is the creative principle at the bottom. It moves to the sexual principle, then it moves to the fire and the mother at the navel, then it moves to the heart, and each of these is elemental, as we have seen: earth, fire, water, air, akasha. And the same principle applies to how the mother creates the universe, so it's almost like the mother is creating downwards and we are reaching upwards. It's the same principle.
So it is she who is performing all of these tasks in these different forms, okay, as Brahma, as Vishnu, as Rudra, as Ishvara, and Sadashiva. So these 5 duties were performed for the first time during this period of this month of Ashwin, from the first day just after the new moon up to the Vijayadashami. And that was in the time of what is called as the Swayambhu Manu. So this Manu is a period of time. Okay? And right now we are in something which is called the Vaivashvata Manu. And then we are going to moving to another Manu. After this Kali Yuga ends, we'll be moving to another Manu. So in gratitude and reverence to the Divine Mother for for doing these 5 tasks, that is why the Devi Navaratri is celebrated during this period. That is in the month of Ashvija or Ashwin, as they say in the north of India, from the first day after the new moon of Ashvija Masa and following up to Vijayadashami. So this is the reason why this is celebrated at this time.
So just to say that today is the 7th day of that 9 days. So
today is the 7th day. Yes.
In 2 days we get Vijayadashami, which is goddess is victorious finally. But we are now at the 7th day today.
So now we can come to how do we go about celebrating. So when we are saying we are doing this in gratitude, in reverence to the Divine Mother, how is it that we are celebrating this? So
I ask you something before you go to that, which
Sure.
is what is in the Lalita Tripura Sundari tradition, what is the psychological meaning of these phases in your opinion? What do you think they are? What are we doing to ourselves when we meditate on this during this 9 days?
What is happening is the transformation from the Tamo Guna to the Rajo Guna and to the Sattva Guna. So even the chapters of the Chandi Saptashloki, which we will be coming to, which is the primary text of this period. This is a text of 700 stanzas, which is called Devi Mahatmyam, Chandi Path, or Chandi Saptashloki.
Correct.
The word Saptashloki means 700 stanzas. This is a primary text that is followed all over India, all across India. All the traditions follow this particular text. And this is actually taken from a Purana, which is a historical text, which relates the story. None of the other Puranas have been elevated to this kind of a status, where it is regularly used as the primary text for worship during these 9 nights. So these 9 nights represent the way of transforming yourself. So it is representing your own human condition and how you have to transform yourself by crossing the 3 gunas. So the first chapter of Mahakali will take you across the Brahma Gandhi. The second chapter takes you across the Vishnu Gandhi. And the third chapter, the final one, will take you through the Rudra Gandhi. So it is the process of transformation. So it is directly related to our own life span and life journey.
Very good. Just to clarify for everybody, you can write this down. The Purana is called the Markandier Purana, and it's a Markandier Purana, and it's a beautiful treatise. We have studied it with the Chandi Path when we looked at Chandi Path, and the 3 gunas are obviously 3 psychological states in us of our consciousness. That means the lower tamasic one is our lower energies, animal nature, our fears, our traumas, all that things we hold. The rajasic is our expansion of our consciousness to act in the world, to do the kriya, the doing. And the third aspect, sattvic, is to go into the akasha, into spirituality, into our mental states, into the spiritual world. So the whole purpose of this 9 days is to go through those 3 stages in consciousness and become light as a feather and karma free, hopefully, when you're done. So, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, but we have already gone through the Chandi part. Well, essentially, we were going to talk about the Chandi because that is the focus of worship. Because Chandi is the form of Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati together are called either Chandi or Durga or Bala Tripura Sundari. So we say
Mahashakti, Mahakali,
Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, Samishti Swarupa, Durga, Chandika, Bala Tripura Sundari. So these 3 goddesses are considered the essence of Mahakali, Mahalakshmi and Mahasaraswati put together. So you have already gone through the story, the discussion of the story, how the merchant and the king came to the forest, and all of that is covered, right?
No, you can tell it again. It's fun. It's a fun story. Tell it again, please.
So the Chandi Saptashloki is a text of 700 stanzas. And here, as I said, it is taken from the Markandier Purana, and it is a story. It is expounding through the version or through the medium of a story. It is compared to also the 700 stanzas of the Bhagavad Gita. So the knowledge contained in this text of the Chandi Saptashloki is the same as the knowledge given by Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. There also you see the 700 stanzas, and here also 700 stanzas. It's not just the number 700 that is the same, but it is the same knowledge. The knowledge that is given by Krishna is really talking to intellectuals. Whereas here, the knowledge is given through the form of a very interesting story. True, you have to inquire behind the story and to find out what it is really talking about. But the first hook that is there is the story. So you are fascinated by the story. You are, you are engrossed by the story. And the story is the one that will make you go deeper and want to inquire what is this really all about. So you have a very fascinating story about a king and a merchant. Through various situations in life, they find themselves in the forest and they meet up, and then they go together. They see the ashram of a sage, and then they go there to him. And then they say that the king says that I have been thrown out from my kingdom and I have nowhere to go. I don't know what is happening in my life. He comes to the sage. And similarly, even the merchant, he says that my subjects, my family doesn't really want me. They just want that. Yeah, they have deserted me. So there is nothing that I can gain from this. So both of them come to the forest because of personal problems, and they come and approach the sage. And then he says that all this is happening because of Mahamaya. So she is the one who creates all of these illusions. She is the one who creates these problems in your life, and then she is also the one who takes you across these problems. So that is why she is known as Mahamaya. So it is not just you. Even the wisest of the wise men are deceived by her. So whatever we are facing in this universe is all due to this Mahamaya or to the Maya. So that is how they come to her. And then he tells the story of the whole, how Devi came to be and how she vanquished various demons, the first of which are Madhu and Kaitaba. The Madhu and Kaitaba represent one, Madhu is essentially honey. So honey is the pleasure-seeking nature within mankind. So primarily, what do? We are always looking to find pleasure. No matter what we are doing or where we are going, whatever it is, we are looking for pleasure. So that is the nature within us to seek pleasure all the time. And Kaitaba represents or is the form of an insect. And Kaitaba represents rejection of life. So they are two opposite poles. Madhu is the pleasure-seeking part, and Kaitaba is the one that is rejecting life, saying, I don't want this or I don't want that. Okay, so these are both two extremes. So Madhu represents the Pingala, or the energy of the sun. So this energy of the sun is what makes you do all the activities in life, and what is the one that is making you look for pleasure wherever you go. And Ida is the one that is cool, that is dispassionate, and that wants to make you also withdraw from life. So what we need to do is find the middle ground. So both Ida and Pingala, they are two extremes. And what we need to find is the middle ground, which is the earth, right? So the energy of the earth is the one that is in the middle, which is neither too hot nor is it too cold. So these two together, the balance is found in the Sushumna, which represents the earth. Okay. So here the stories, so Madhu and Kaitaba are the two Rakshasas and how they are vanquished. And then also the other demons, all the different ones like Dhumra Lochana, and then you have the very fascinating one of Rakta Bija. So all of these demons, they don't exist somewhere else. They all exist within our body. So the parallel of the story is that these demons, these Rakshasas, all exist within us. And we have to learn how to go across or find our way through these demonic tendencies. So that is the story, the moral of the story. And especially the Rakta Bija, we know it represents the mind, and all the all the different tendencies of the mind, they are never ending. So the mind cannot be controlled, cannot be vanquished. So what does Devi do? She pulls out her tongue and she does not allow even a single drop of blood to fall on the floor, because he has that power. Rakta Bija has the power that even if a single drop of blood falls on the floor, it is multiplied 1,000 times. So no matter what is happening, even if he's being killed, the more blood that falls or spills on the floor, the more thousands and thousands of Rakshasas are being born out of that. So this is a parallel, direct parallel to our mind. So ultimately, it is our mind that has to be vanquished, or that has to be nullified completely. So how we get our mind to come to the zero state, or to the absolute, dispassionate and no thoughts, to get to the state where that we have absolutely no thoughts. That is what is signified by the killing of Rakta Bija. So Rakta Bija is representing the mind, and only when you can kill him completely, then you can cross to the higher planes of consciousness. So that is a thing. And here the stories are laid out in an interesting way, and we can, everybody can follow the stories, and we can, understand the nature of the mother. She is compassionate, she is loving, she is a mother. She represents so many different things. So it is not just one aspect of her. We consider there are several different aspects of her. But first of all, let us just look at the mantra. So the mantra of Chandi, I think you all know the mantra. So let's chant that a few times before we get into the meaning of what the mantra is all about. Okay, so let's chant the mantra. Aim, Reem, Kleem, Chamundayai Viche. 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 So when we chant the mantra, if you focus your awareness at the points indicated on the diagram, it makes the mantra that much more effective, because just chanting it out from your head is not as effective as actually placing your awareness at the points that are indicated. So the points are, the first point is Aim at the Mooladhara chakra. Okay. Second point is at Hreem, which represents the left nipple. Kleem is at the right nipple. Chamundayai at the navel, and Viche is at the Swadhisthana chakra, or the clitoris in the females, and also the genitals for the males. Okay, so these are the energy centers. So Aim at Mooladhara, Hreem at the left breast, Kleem at the right breast, Chamundayai at the navel, and Viche at the Swadhisthana chakra. Okay, so when we chant the mantra like this, so chant it slowly, and also place your awareness, move your awareness to in this direction. You are creating the triangle, right? Okay, let's do it a few times with awareness this time. Okay, Aim, Reem, Kleem, Chamundayai Viche. Aim Hrim Klim Chamundayai Viche. Aim Hrim Klim Chamundayai Viche. So here Aim represents Srishti or the creation. Hrim represents the Maya, but also represent the preservation. Okay. And then Klim represents the Kama. So Aim, Hrim, Klim are the three primordial bijas in this mantra. And Chamundaye, the word Chamunda refers to the one who has killed Chanda and Munda. So the one who has conquered the demons called Chanda and Munda. Yai is you're asking for her blessing. Chamundaye. So please bless me. And Viche means protection. The Chandi mantra is all about protection. She is the one who is worshipped at the Manipura chakra, at the navel center. She represents the element of fire. And therefore, in her upasana, the mantra japam, which is creating the fire, then the parayana of or reciting or chanting of the text of the Chandi, and Chandi homam. So these three form the primary means of worshipping her. Okay, so there is no other formal puja, and all of those take a secondary seat, take a backward seat. It is mostly the mantra japam, the chanting, and the homam. These three are important for Chandi. Okay, so Aim is Srishti, Hrim, Sthiti, and Klim represents the Kama or the desire. So the desire is the one, as you build up the desire, that is the one that invites the grace to come through. So the fire, when it is built up to a sufficient energy level, so for example, the fire has to really, burn well. You notice that when there is so much heat, it always ends in a thunder shower, right? So our job is to create that heat, to constantly create and build up that heat to such an extent that the grace has to flow down. So what goes up in the form of heat has to come down in the form of nectar. Okay, so this is about the mantra. So the Chandi Path is a long text, and it is difficult to learn and to chant. Okay, so of course serious sadhakas will eventually get to learning of the whole text, but it is something that is quite daunting to newcomers and to people who have never heard these chants before. So the easy way of doing this is, there are two things which can be attempted as a beginner level. One is the Chandi Saptashloki, which are 7 stanzas which represent the 700 shlokas. Okay, so these are just 7 stanzas that are taken from the entire text of the 700 stanzas, and they are said to represent the essence of the whole text. And this is one way. The second way is understanding what is the nature of this mother. And this is found in the 5th chapter, where all the gods come and praise her because she has killed the demons of Madhu and Kaitava. So after she has performed some miracles, some of her duties, then all the gods and the deities all gather around and they are praising her. And in the praising her, we know what is her true nature. So they keep referring to her as the form of sleep, as the form of hunger, as the form of contentment, as the form of the Divine Mother herself, and as the form of hunger, maybe I said hunger, of thirst. So all of these represent her forms. So they praise her in this form, and then they say, salutations to you, O Mother, salutations, and salutations again and again to you. So that is most of the 5th chapter, and that is a very also a simple way of honoring her and worshipping her during these 9 nights, because acknowledging what she is the basic idea. So we understand who she is and acknowledge her presence and honor her presence. So that forms the one of the things. So there are many ways which we have, like the Chandi, reciting the Chandi, or parts of the Chandi which are specifically appealing, or musical in that sense, and then which are form entry points to actually learning how to chant the whole text. That is one. And in the practice in the 9 nights, so in the south the focus is really on the sadhana, so on the introspection within yourself and relating to this story, finding out who are the demons in your own life and how you can transform yourself, and how you can see where is it that you can change and you can get to the next level in your own life. So the sadhana part is the most important. And the 9 nights, again, they're distributed as 3 nights for Mahakali, then Mahalakshmi, and then Mahasaraswati. So we know all of that. Saraswati is the final. So the pinnacle is knowledge. So when there is the knowledge, then everything else is taken care of. So that knowledge is the most important thing. So first we have to work through our past karmas. We have to burn away everything. And that is where Mahakali comes into the picture. Okay, she unties the Brahma Granthi. So she takes us across from that point of view. And then you come to the Vishnu Granthi. So then also your mental conditionals, the mind, the makeup of the mind, and how you can, get past that. And then finally, Mahasaraswati, where you have to merge completely with her. So those 3 things are the focus. So more than the celebration, yes, celebration is definitely there, because we have, we worship her in the form of little girls. We have the form of worshiping her in the married ladies as a couple. So we have all of these things, and all of the decorations, the beauty, all of this is on display all through the 9 nights. This is all and in the south, in Tamil Nadu, they have what they call it as a golu. So they have a representation of gods and goddesses and different kinds of things. They're all in a beautiful display. So the social aspect is there, where how you celebrate a particular festival or a particular thing, and also the part where you are introspecting and understanding what this festival really is all about. So the whole period is going on for 9 days. 10 days is the 10th day is the Vijayadashmi, which is the conquering. So you have conquered yourself presumably within the 9 days, if it was so easy, right? So so this is why we celebrate it every year, because we can't do it in 1 year, in one period of 10 days. So this battle is also said to have taken place over 100 years. Okay, so 100 years again represents approximately the lifespan of a human being. So this is the battle is ongoing. It is going on continuously within ourselves. So this is always a work in progress. So it keeps going, and we are again moving from life to life, and then hoping to get better at it and get this thing. So
Devi Mahatmyam, or the Chandi Saptashloki as we call it. So at the surface, it is like a very nice story that the king and the businessman and all the problems that they face. Then they ask, who was Devi, how did she come to be, and all of these, and then they get all these answers. But when you want to actually look at it, because they say that each of all of the 700 shlokas are mantras in themselves. So where are these bijaksharas of the mantras hidden? So there is something called in Sanskrit, there's always heavy coding that's happening. It's really heavy coding. And there's something called the Katapayadi Sutra. Katapayadi Sutra, which helps you to decode. Okay. And so if you look at, just each of these stanzas, and very learned scholars know this, and they have done this kind of a decoding. And just for them to explain the very first stanza, and from that decode the bijaksharas that are hidden within that, it takes them anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to decode just one stanza or even more. So just to get that bijakshara theme, there's a whole lot of stuff that is covering everything. It's all covered. It's hidden somewhere below. And the text reads like a very wonderful story, but if you decode that using this principle, sutra means the principle. So Katapayadi Sutra, when you use that and then you use it to decode, then from there all these gems start to emerge. And these are the nothing but the mantras which are hidden within that entire story. So even if you don't know how to decode, it's okay. You read it as it is. Still, they act as mantras. Even though it sounds like a story to you, you're not able to gauge that there is a mantra there. Even if you read, even if you can't read, here the chanting is what they say.
Can I ask you something, Radhaji? Can you chant a little bit of that 6th chapter for us? Can you chant a little bit of?
Chapter. She will be doing that. We'll be doing that. We'll be doing that now.
So
So just to give you a sense of the kind of heavy stuff, it's loaded, literally loaded with so many mantras, potent stuff inside there. You need to know how it has to be decoded, and nobody knows all of these things. So let's leave that for them. But at least let's try to chant. Let's try to listen to somebody chanting. And even as she was saying earlier, these social ways of worship Devi in everybody. It just not just saying it with lips, but actually meaning it from the heart. So you worship small girls as Devi, you worship older girls as Devi, you worship married women as Devi, you worship Devi in couples who are married. So this is what it turns out to be. It's not just a lip service, but actually, how does it feel to offer worship to another human being who is either in the form of a little girl or a slightly older girl or a married woman? So so that is where all these traditions, all these I would say this very important knowledge has been passed down through generations of people using these traditions of when somebody comes to your house during the Navaratri, you honor them. If they are married women, then you give them something in return. You are worshipping them, you are acknowledging them as the Devi, and you are offering them to them, right? So these are there in our social custom, in our social traditions, and all of that. So it is now time for us to recognize these as such and not just brush them away as in some kind of outdated practices, but actually look at them for what they are, understand them, and then celebrate them. That is what is really necessary. So now we can go to the 5th chapter.
So, like I said, this is a very musical kind of a piece where there is a lot of repetition, where you are constantly saying salutations to the goddess, salutations to the goddess, salutations again and again to the goddess. Okay, so that is reflected in Namastasyai, 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 Namo Namaha. Okay, so that is the part that is the refrain that keeps coming again and again. And each time you address the Devi as a different entity or a different aspect of her. We address that particular aspect and then we offer our salutations to her. Okay, so it starts with Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Vishnu Mayeti Shabdita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. So she represents the Vishnu Maya, what we talked about, the illusion, right? So she represents that. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chetanetya Bhidhiyate
Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha.
Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Samstita
Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha.
Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Nidra Rupena Samstita
Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha.
Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shudha Rupena Samstita
Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha.
Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chaya Rupena Samstita
Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha.
Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita
Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Krishna Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Jati Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Lajja Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shraddha Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Kanti Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Lakshmi Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Vritti Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Smriti Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Daya Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Tushti Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matru Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Bhranti Rupena Samstita.
Namastasyai, 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 namo namaha.
That is most of the fifth chapter, and it is mostly a repetitive kind of thing where only one part of the whole stanza is changing. So each of those represent a different aspect of the Divine Mother. I didn't want to interrupt for each stanza, so did not go further with that. So the first one, of course, is that she represents the illusory nature of the world. So she is the Vishnu Maya. The second one says that she represents the consciousness, the Chetana. She is the consciousness. Devi is the consciousness within each and every one of us. So, like Guruji used to say, Divyate Prakashyate Anaya iti Devi. So, if you ask who is Devi, she is the consciousness that is present in each and every one of us. And it is because of that consciousness that we can hear, we can speak, we can see, we can do any activity. Everything comes because of that. Okay. Then the next one is Buddhi Rupena Samstita. So the Buddhi, the faculty of discrimination. So if you know that this is right or this is wrong, or these are the choices that are there in front of me, that way to discriminate. So that is the also her aspect. Nidra Rupena. Next one is Nidra. So sleep. So we are sleeping. So we think we are awake, but we are actually sleeping. So we have to get out from this so-called sleeping, so-called wakeful state, which is actually a sleeping state, right? So we think we are very much awake, but actually we have to get up from this waking state, which is actually a sleeping state. So this is the Nidra. So she wakes all of us from this Nidra, state of Nidra. Then you have Shudha. Shudha is hunger. So she represents the hunger also, hunger for knowledge, the hunger that we have for the food, for the external things, as well as the hunger for knowledge. Shakti Rupena. So she is the energy behind everything. Krishna is thirst. Again, thirst, hunger, thirst, they all represent the similar kind of
Shanti.
where you look for to satisfy yourself through something external from you. Okay. Then also you have Shanti, Jati, Lajja, Shanti, Shraddha, Kanti, Lakshmi Rupena Samsthita. Lakshmi again is auspiciousness and not just material wealth, right? So it is auspiciousness that we refer to here. Then Vritti, Smriti, Smriti. Smriti is memory. Daya, she is the epitome of compassion, because otherwise, you would be nowhere. She is just pure compassion herself. So even though sometimes you feel that you're not being taken care of, or that she doesn't listen to your prayers, even that is all part of the Leela, because there is a certain time and a certain place for everything. So when the time is right, then everything falls into place. So she represents also the ultimate compassion. So then Tushti is contentment. So where does Lakshmi reside? She resides where there is tushti, where there is contentment. It is not whether you have X amount of money, bank balance, or you have certain possessions, or you have everything that you desire for, but it is how content are you. That is the aspect of tushti. Then Matra Rupena Samsita, the nature of the mother. So she is always on the lookout for us, nurturing, caring, and loving. Then Bhranti is illusion again. So in every aspect, you see, especially in the aspect of the mother. So Matru Rupena, Matru means or the idea of measuring. Matru, Meya, Mana. These three things are referred to as the Trinity, just as the triad of like seeing, seer, and the seen. There is another triad is where the mother is referred to as the one who measures. So she measures and gives, because she knows how much the child can absorb, how much the child can digest, and what is it really that the child needs at this point in the journey. Okay, so she is referred to as the one who measures. That is one definition of the mother, is that she is the one who measures. Okay, Matru. So these are different aspects of the mother, and this is one way, in a simple way, we can chant this small chapter, and we can, celebrate with this. And of course, you are all familiar with the Chandi mantra, so that is a great way. And I think you have also learned the Shatchakra Japam and everything. Is that true? Yeah. So doing the Japam and chanting. If you cannot chant the whole thing, then chanting, listening to the chant, because the vibrations that are contained within the chants are very powerful. Each chant, like you said, is a Maha Mantra in itself, and they have a lot of healing properties. There are ways where you can, use these mantras or the particular stanzas to address particular situations in life. Okay, so we, instead of getting into all that, you just listen to the whole thing, or you pick up one part of it and then use that for chanting. So to celebrate the Devi Navaratris, you don't have to start in a very big way. Start in a small way. Shraddha. One of her aspects is Shraddha. So whatever little you can do with the utmost devotion and with the utmost, feeling that you can get, you can muster up and, offer that to her. So you are everything. So you say that, this is what I can do. At this point of my life, this is what I can do, and offer that to her. It is not what you offer, it is how you offer. So that is the principle behind the whole thing. And this is the small way of worshipping.
Very nice. One thing to remember, and when you were doing it, you could feel it, is that the mother's grace descends into us, down from Maya, down. She's the Hiranya Garbha, she is the egg, the womb that we're in, and it comes down into us through the chakras. But we can also reach up and clean ourselves through the chakras, as we see in Kundalini, to move up towards her, to receive her grace, and that's why Mahalakshmi is the source and the beginning and the end, because it's always in the heart that it'll happen for you, this opening of the heart will happen, and that's very important. Beautifully recited. Thank you, Didi. And let's go from there. What's next?
We planned for an hour. Our hour is up and it's quite late also.
You can't leave. No. So would you like
So
to?
maybe if people have any questions.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
we could do questions.
Questions.
That way. That's how we can
All right.
talk.
So let us please, go to reactions at the bottom and raise your hand if you want to speak to Rama and Radha D, and just, come and talk to them. Okay. Who would like to start? Come on. Don't be shy. Okay. Here we go. Bhargav Joshi. Go ahead.
Shri Matre Namaha. It was so sweet, the chanting. I was just in bliss. So first, thank you for that. Is there a full chanting by you somewhere where we can listen?
No, not yet. maybe in the future, but not yet.
Yeah, and the second question is, when you start listening to full chant, what is the bhav that you should have, the feeling you should have when you start listening?
When you start listening, I think don't try to have a particular feeling per se, but just let the sounds just kind of wash over you. Just listen to the sounds. Don't try to get into the meaning or the bhava or anything like that. Just listen to the pure sounds. Okay? So the tendency is we try to make meaning out of everything. So these things are actually mantras. All mantras represent channel of communication. So they don't represent a particular meaning per se. So you just listen to the sounds and just try to absorb the sounds as they are. So don't try to have the whole story of the Chandi, the whole thing, the story in your mind, or that or a particular image of the Chandi in your mind. Just listen to the vibrations of the sounds. So that is what I do.
Good. All right. Thank you, Bhargav. Who would like to come? Mukta, you are happily smiling away there.
So Shri Matre Nama, I just love everything you talk, you teach. It's just it just touches my heart every time. So Devipuram really resides in me. So, yeah, it just was beautiful class, really beautiful class, especially the chanting. I think that chanting of, Devi, I do the 9 days, I do Golu also. I have a Golu, I set up a Golu. And I do the 9 days of Chandi Path, and I chant this every day, regardless, throughout the year. The Devi mantra is every day for me, and she's just transforming my life so much. It's just, I have now control over it. I feel so much gratitude, so much love towards Devipuram Guruji that there's no limit. I don't know how to even express it sometimes. Just so much gratitude. I just want to say thank you. Just coming into my life. Thank you for Raja introducing me to Devipuram. Thank you for coming into my life. Rama.
Yeah, I have a business card that says, ambassador. That's my only job. Here, go to Devipuram. Go to Devipuram.
Yeah, it's you have to be there to actually. You have to feel it when you go there. I had. It's just the life changed after going to Devipuram. It's like I had always visualized, understood mentally, physically, knew that as a tradition in my family that followed. But I went to Devipuram and I saw it, I felt it, I became one. So that was just, I cry and I laugh at the same time.
We'll be bringing another gang with us next year. We're coming.
Her grace, it's her grace. These 9 days are very powerful for me. Very, very powerful for me.
Thank you, Mukta.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mukta. Be happy.
Thank you. I can't wait to come. Every day I say I need to go. I just can't wait to come. Yes.
Okay, let's bring Edward. Hello, Edward.
Thank you for this wonderful, special visit and teachings. What I'd like to know is that each time I read the Chandi Path, there is a point where it unlocks the key unlocks certain value consciousness. What does that actually do? Because I feel it like someone's inside, some tiny person inside me, unlocking the gate to some reservoir. And so the mother is blessing me. And so I love the Chandi Path as I read it. What does it actually do? Release karma or open up the Kundalini? How does that reflect in each time I read that? Thank you, and I appreciate your response. Thank you so much.
It could be a combination of several things, not just one thing by itself. Because as we are here as a result of the several things, we have several things in our baggage. And only when this baggage gets lightened up, then the new pathways start to open up. So it could be a combination of several things. But despite all of these baggages and everything that we have, once you have the direct grace from the mother, which is falling over you like sweet nectar, then all of those anyway are gone. So don't worry about what's happening. Just be, just do.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
And in a way, the emptier you are, the more she can flow through you. So don't think so much. Let it happen. We can rationalize it after we're on the other side talking to her privately. And then we can go and talk to her. Okay, who else would like to come? Come.
I just wanted to say thank you. I've chanted that before on my own, but I've never experienced like anything like I experienced now. And I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Deborah.
Deborah's had a very difficult couple of years. Her parents died, a lot of struggles. And she's come through very strongly now, and she's rebuilding her life. And so these magical graces of the mother are helping in every way we can, Yeah. Thank you, Deborah, for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was really, really absolutely lovely to hear you chant those verses. And I actually wanted to ask you, if I were to search for that, for like a recording of all those verses, because usually when I look for it, I can only find like a single mantra, right? Like Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Vritti Rupa. Yeah. So because I'd love to listen to it more.
Yeah. So there is a recording of Guruji. The whole Chandi is there. Whole Chandi part is there in Guruji's voice.
Okay.
What we'll do is we'll share some of these links with the Raja, and then he can share them across with all of you.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. I would love that.
And do you have a copy that Guruji uses, a PDF or something of the Chandi Path in English in Roman script? Do you have that? Because we have seen quite a few, but we are in anything from Devipuram at all? No, nothing, no? Not yet.
Not in print form.
Not in print form, no, but there is an authentic source where you can get it from. So you have these, this.
If you want a exact transcript of what Guruji has chanted, that it is the main body of the text. He doesn't, which is the Argala, Kelaka, Kavacham, and the 13 chapters. Okay, so he doesn't have the Siddhakunjika, Stotram, and all of those at the end.
So I have a complete Roman script PDF that I will post on our portal for everybody. So that, and if you send me the recording of Guruji, I'll put that on our portal only for our members, and they can listen to it and read along with the script as well. I'll put that in for everybody.
Right.
All
There
right.
is also for additional reading. There is also, there's a kind of the thing that Guruji wrote about this an article, which he wrote about. It's called Inquiring Behind the Stories, which gives you the symbolism behind the stories that are talked about, described in the Durga Saptashloki. So that's a PDF which I can share with you as well.
Yes, please do that. So what we have is we have a portal for all our members, and they can listen to the audio, watch anything, any PDF, they can get it from there. And it's not public, it's very private, only for this group. It's only
Right.
for. Okay.
Understood.
Okay, good. Please do send it, and I will post it for them by early this week coming up. All right, good. So what I wanted to say to everybody is that visiting Devipuram is a profound experience, as you can see from Mukta's words, and Taraji has been, and Natasha has been, and so many people have been here. Somal, have you been yet? Not yet. Get down there. You have to get Somal. She's in Calcutta, and I think that even if you don't come with me, plan a trip there sometime, because you get to meet these two lovely ladies, and they will come and but you also get to see Guruji's dream and Ma and everything there, fully alive and thriving. It's a living goddess city. It's a city of Raja Rajeshwari, of the goddess. So go there. You'll see Kamakya. You can get a pujas done to your body, Kalabahana. You can do all kinds of wonderful things. So I strongly recommend it. And we have a hand up here with Ashwin. Hello, Ashwin. Go ahead.
Namah Srimatre Namah. So, Amma, you mentioned about the sutra which will help to decode. So, where do we learn that? How do we go about getting that blessing from Devi?
It's called the Katapayadi Sutra. Katapayadi. I can write it in the chat box if you like.
Payadi. Katapayadi. No, Payadi. Katapayadi. But remember one thing that and Ashwin, we have talked about this before also, is that the bija encoded mantras of the three goddesses, the paths, all the different things are already, you can tell now with your knowledge already what they are when you read. You will know every time you see a harim floating over there or a kleem floating over there, that is an indication that you're in the right direction, and I think you have to try and let the goddess tell you what it is that she's secretly trying to tell you. You can go and read all the scriptural manuscripts and coding keys and everything, but when you feel it, something else will happen. We call it rasa, the amrit, the flowing of the amrit of the mother. If that comes to you, and you have tasted it many times, I know, Ashwin, and it's coming. But if you want to do the decoding, I can tell the mathematical genius in you is coming out. You want to decode everything.
Rajada, more than that, it's like what you mentioned just now. It's that essence, that fragrance, that invisibleness of the mother, which is everywhere and nowhere. That's the one which is sucking me as well as exploding me and then doing everything to me, if you will. It's like, do I keep accumulating more and more content and knowledge, or just shut up and let the mother be? It's like the second part is what is just blasting me big time. So,
I remember I was talking to Rama about this back in 2015-16 after Guruji died, and she said, just shut up and let the mother tell you what's going to happen. Don't talk too much. And I did, and now look, we're here, So yes, there is a time and a place for vidya, knowledge and gyan, but there is a time for bhakti and experience and devotion, and you have to combine the two, in some way. You have to combine the two. It's beautiful.
So we have a forum where we put a lot of Guruji stuff up there. It's called, I can share the link as that as well. It's called forum.amritananda.org, and some of his talks, some of his stuff is put up on SoundCloud, and then those are shared again on the forum. So that's if you're interested to explore further, you can.
Forum.amritananda.org. Okay, I put it on the thing already. And also, there's for those of you who are want to follow this line more seriously, because as you know, here we are all antarmukhas, we're only meditating and kriyas and mantra and using that. If you want to do ritual, if you want to learn about practice, then Devipuram does offer courses, and you can do it. You have to register and do it. And I think many here are doing it right now, aren't you? There are quite a few who are doing it. Adalberto, aren't you doing it? Yes, he's doing it. Somebody's doing it. A whole bunch of people are doing it. So you can always sign up and work with Devipuram, and there's levels, and you go deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And I mean, it's an endless life of studying if you want to do it. There's never any, Ashwin, you will never stop looking. Like,
No, in that thread, I'd like to say bhakti and then jnana. They both have to lead you to vairagya. So it's that is the path. You have to do jnana. You are now concentrating on jnana. Okay, jnana, and then you add some amount of bhakti, but both of them have to lead you to vairagya. Only then you can go past that and reach the goal.
Vairagi, the best definition of Vairagi is a kind of detached transcendence, where you are completely not needing anything and you're just going towards the divine. Vairagi is to just let go of the world, boom, and then go.
You don't let go of the world. You are very much in the world, but you don't let anything affect you.
You are in.
So detached attachment kind of.
In the work we do, we call it the Turiya state. The Turiya state. It is the Turiya state of just becoming the observer, seeing everything all the time. And in a way, we use kriyas and mantras to go to Turiya. That's what we do here in this school. So everybody is becoming their own guru in their own way, but following the lineages of our good gurus like Guruji Amritananda to help us get there. And that's the most important thing. All right. Well, that's been 1.5 hours. Well done, girls. Thank you so much. And so thank you so much for coming and sharing all your wisdom and your mother's grace with us, and introducing us to the Lalita side of the Navaratri, which we have not done before here. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So a couple of things. We did speak about. You did speak about the classes and all the Srividya. If you would like to learn Srividya, then I can in the links that I'll be sharing with Raja, I can also include some of that as well. If you would like to learn more in Srividya, then we can share how you can go about that. The other thing is that, Tara, you can also jump in on this. So together with A Thousand Suns Academy, Shakti Leadership, the Parmat Niketan, Auroville and Oro Valley, Devipuram is co-hosting or co-convening a Shakti Kumbh this next year in February. That is from the February 12th to the March 5th. And this is being done at 2 places on the banks of the Ganga. This is being done, hosted both at Oro Valley as well as at Parmat Niketan. And we have curated, we've sat together and we've together curated some, I would say, bringing in stuff from different lineages and actually creating a course for yoginis, where women who are already in the path of healing others, who are already in the path of teaching others, helping others also to know their own inner wisdom. So we are creating a course for that, and that's a 21-day course. But we're also having other 3-day, 5-day courses which people can come attend the Shakti Kumbh, listen to master speakers who are coming from various traditions across India and from abroad as well, from different kinds of I would say faiths as well. People are coming, and there are excellent speakers who will be there during this time. So we welcome you to attend. Either as a participant for the IYTTC International Yogini Teacher Training Course, or even if you would like to come just for a few days, maybe 3 days or 5 days, men are most welcome to come and attend these other courses. And we also have Devipuram is also offering a course on Kalavahana during that
Oh, I
time.
didn't know that. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are doing that. That's
Both
so,
of the workshops, separate workshops.
Yeah.
is part of it.
So
part
we
of the course and also the separate workshop.
so
So
Taraji has prepared an email that we will be sending out to everybody in the next
yes,
that will announce this, and even though it sounds like discrimination against us poor men, there
No, the word yogini contains yogi in it. Okay. just as the word she contains me in it. So no, we are not discriminating here at all.
Taraji, you want to say something about the Kumbh? Taraji, go ahead.
Shri Matra Namaha. I think Radhaji and Ramaji have said it all. There is a newsletter that is going to be released in the next day or so, and I'll send it to Raja. You'll get all the information about the 21-day Integral Yogini Teacher Training course. That's a 21-day program. But we also have a number of workshops that you can come for just a few days and take individual workshops, 3, 4, 5 days workshop. There's, like Rama said, the Kalavahana is a 3-day workshop, I believe.
yes.
And you'll get the opportunity to experience Shakti flowing through you. And a great idea is to come to the Shakti Kumbh, come to the yoga festival, and then fly down to Devipuram and enjoy Devipuram as well. You're in India, go to Devipuram and enjoy Devipuram. It's a space that is absolutely wonderful. Coming back to Shakti Kumbh, just, I feel as though we set the intention to come and let Ma guide you to the Shakti Kumbh. We can talk a lot about the Shakti Kumbh, but you need to be invited. And Ma will invite you. Shakti will invite you to come to the Shakti Kumbh. It is absolutely wonderful. Yes. So come, join us. Let's have some fun.
A great initiative, and I'm very proud of all of you for doing this. So well done, all of you.
And Tarama has been really holding it so well. She's been doing lots and lots of work, and really, huge shout out to Tarama on that.
Well, she's the superstar of our Thousand Suns Academy. So, she, Mukta, Alex have been really running the gauntlet with everything we're doing. So I'm very proud of them all. So all good.
But that Tara also needs another Tarini. So you please provide one Tarini because she needs lots of help, especially from ATSA. Thousand Suns Academy. I'm your younger sister and I'm the only one who can say this to you. So I'm saying it to you.
She's getting all the help we can give. Don't worry. But I was not invited, so I'm not giving any more help.
I think I'm going. So Tara, I'm here for you. Whatever help you need, I'm here for you.
Yeah, Mukta, that's good. That's good.
They said no boys. I said okay.
Boys are welcome for the whole program, not for the Yogini program.
I will happily.
Everything else.
I said I will happily become Ardha Narishwara and come. I'm okay. I'm fine. Acha, if you can't make it, then in November we are planning Shakti Quest 2, which will be a journey from. This time we're going to come from Kerala and come up to you. So it's going to be a different route. We're going to go and see Meenakshi temple and see Matangi in Meenakshi over there. We're going to go and visit her. But we're going to start in Kerala and then go all the way up to you, to Devipuram. And end in Devipuram this time, not start in the middle of Devipuram. So we'll end in Devipuram. So there you go.
Whatever the few days left of this Navaratri, make the most of them. Whatever you can do, whether it's chanting, even listening to the Lalita Sahasranamam during this time is also very beneficial, because the Lalita Sahasranamam, as opposed to all other Sahasranamams, the 1,000 names, has been revealed by the goddess through her 8 Vag Devis. So it's not a sage or somebody who's written it. It is the Lalita Sahasranam has been revealed by Goddess Lalita herself through the 8 Vagdevi. So it's a very special stotra again. So please listen to at least this or the Durga Saptashloki.
Yeah, we'll write that we'll send that to you also. The Lalita Sahasranam is a very beautiful treatise that recites the 1000 names of Lalita, right?
Yeah.
Parvati. It is beautiful because every single goddess you can imagine is in there. So they're all covered. It's fully covered. And just by chanting the names of the goddess, you activate them. That's how it works. So if you listen to it, is about you can search it on Google. You'll hear chanting of it on Google and YouTube. It's just a beautiful 10-15 minute chanting of this 1000 names of the goddess. It's just wonderful.
More like 25-30 minutes.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
So put yourself 25-30 minutes, get a text of it and follow along, and then you can read all the names of the goddesses. It's quite something. There it is, Lalita Sahasra.
Shakti Kumbh. It's Shakti Kumbh. Kumbh means womb. Kumbh means womb. So
We will
Shakti,
send you an email. We will send you an email next week.
send you the email.
All right, guys. I think we're done for today. Thank you for staying with us for so long. Thank you. What is that? What is that? What is that?
You're sleepy. It's been a long day. We're at the end of our day. It's 10:40. It's 11 o'clock, 11:10.
7 o'clock at night. You're Shaktis. You should be 24/7 on duty. What is this?
Hello. I haven't had dinner yet.
But you're only managing a whole temple town. I mean, what is there to do? Nothing. Oh, by the way, that is the most important thing to remember. This place is one of the only places that most of the ceremonies, most of the things are done by women. So go. Just for that reason, go to Devipuram. That's it.
So yes, and once again, or rather, let me just say welcome to everybody. You're most welcome to come to Devipuram, visit here, stay here for some time, and soak in all that you need to, all that you want to, all that you can. All of you are welcome.
And if you haven't watched it yet, watch the documentary film that was made by some idiot director called Raja Chaudhary. He made it. And if you get a chance, watch the film on Guruji Amritananda on the Devipuram channel. And that tells you the story of Devipuram, of Guruji Amritananda and the coming together. And Rama gives you instructions in that film too, what to do, All right. So it's been wonderful. Thank you, my little sisters. I hope you have a wonderful time. Navratri. Vijay Dashami. Ma Sarva Bhuteshu. Namaste. Namaste.
Rupena samstita.
Shanti Rupena samstita. Now Shanti.
Shanti Rupe. Shanti Rupe. Namastasye. Namastasye. Namastasye.
Namo namaha.
Namo namaha. All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right. Bye-bye, everyone. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Give a big hugs to the sisters. Big hugs. We have to develop all these Zoom techniques of emotional expression, That's all. It's good. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.